Hi there, my name is Kirk Zarell, and this is a screencast for the Candidate Questionnaire module. This module administers timed questionnaires for candidates in an election. I created it based on work that I did for the Voter Support Committee in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada in the recent municipal election. CQ consists of 3 node types: questionnaires, questions, and responses. They're all nodes, so they can all be enhanced individually. All 3 elements can also receive comments individually. It requires a Drupal site with users in 2 roles, moderators and candidates. We have a standard issue Drupal 6 site here, and I'm logged in as a moderator, so I'm going to create a questionnaire. So the questionnaire is a standard issue node. I'm going to be copying text off of an off-screen text editor to fill this in. So in this case, we're creating a questionnaire for local candidates. And the body of this node is actually used for instructions that are kept private between the moderator and the candidates. There is information that describes the questionnaire publicly that's found later on. As I said, these questionnaires are automatically published. So we're going to mark this questionnaire for automatic publishing, and the default publication date here is February the 8th, 2011. That's one month out. We have a description before and after the publication. These are public descriptions, so I'm going to add some text here. So before the publication, the public will see candidates' responses to this questionnaire will be published at a later date. The date will be specified. After publication, the public will see candidates were offered the chance to respond to this questionnaire. After these settings are made, we can click on Save, and it creates a node. It gives the administrator, or in this case the moderator, the opportunity to open this questionnaire for responses now, but we're not quite done yet. We have to create some questions, and we also have to nominate some candidates. So the first thing we're going to do is add some questions. This goes to the Question tab. We're allowed to enter in the text of questions here, but these are actually going to be separate nodes that will have enhancements, any enhancements that the systems administrator or the moderator would like to add. So first question is, if elected, how will you help our community? And the second question is, what are your economic priorities? And the third question is, how will you protect the environment? Once we click Save Changes, you notice that these are in a sortable list so that their order can be changed up to the point of publication. Okay, the other thing we need to do is nominate some candidates to respond to this questionnaire. Right now, no candidates are nominated. We have 2 existing candidates. They've already got accounts, Cand1 and Cand2. We're going to select them. We could also add in the name and email address of candidates who don't have accounts yet. They'll be led into creating an account. Once they're nominated, their names are added here, and they have not yet been sent any emails, and they have not yet accepted the nomination. They won't be able to respond until such time as they accept that nomination, including terms of service. There is a cron hook that will send out emails, batch out emails on a regular basis to candidates to make sure they know about all the questionnaires that apply to them. So the last thing we have to do is open this questionnaire for responses now. Do you want to embargo questionnaire for local candidates now? The word embargo shows up. What we're doing is we are opening this questionnaire for responses from candidates, but the general public will not be able to see the answers, and candidates will not be able to see each other's answers until publication takes place at a later date. Okay, so the questionnaire has been embargoed, and that means that candidates will know about it and will be able to accept their nominations and will be able to respond to the questionnaires once they do. So let's look in on one of the candidates. In this case, candidate 1 is already logged in. And in their feed, they can see that the questionnaire is offered. They can also, because they're a candidate, because they're nominated, they can also see the instructions for candidates as well. If they go to their account, they'll see that they've been nominated for this questionnaire, that it's not been published yet. They know when it's going to be published. If they click on it, they'll receive terms of service for this questionnaire. Do you wish to accept nomination for questionnaire for local candidates? They go down and accept. They get to see the questionnaire, including its questions, and they can begin answering these questions as they wish. What they're doing here is creating a response node. So it is a Drupal node. The question that they're answering shows up at the top, and all they have to do is add in text and other settings that the systems administrator provides. In this case, candidate 1 is going to offer the answer, "I'll do my best to represent you at every level of government." And then they just click Save, and the response is recorded. They can come back and edit this at any time up to the point of publication. Go back to the questionnaire, they can go on to a new question. The new question is, what are your economic priorities? The response is, my priorities are jobs and local investment. Click on Save, and go on to the last question. Notice that their progress is marked at the side. If elected, how will you help your community? I'll ensure that red tape does not interfere with alternative power development. And then they click Save. So candidate 1 has successfully completed the questionnaire. It's marked off that they have begun. Let's look in on candidate 2. Candidate 2 is about to log in. And candidate 2 has been nominated for a questionnaire and gets directed to their profile. Oh, I should go back and show that the responses show up as teasers in the feed as well. But this is candidate 2, candidate 1 has responded. We didn't see the question that they've responded to, but we see that the answer has been embargoed. And that's the case with all the answers that came in. So we'll go back to my account. This is their nomination. They receive the terms of service and can accept them. And then they go through and do the same process. They can respond to the questionnaires. Question 1, how will you protect the environment? Candidate 2 responds, I'm just in it for the pension. What are your economic priorities? Candidate 2 says, get as much graft as possible from local business. If elected, how will you help your community? I'm just in it for the pension. Save. So candidate 2 has completed the entire response. If they go back and look at the individual questions, they will see the public and the individual candidates will see the entire body of the question, including media elements that show up, but they'll only see that responses have been recorded. The general public sees much the same thing. They see that the responses are coming in, but that the responses have not yet been published. The moderator can publish the questionnaire at will. So we're going to have that happen now. The moderator publishes the questionnaire. It's been published. And now the general public looking on will see the responses. They can click on the individual questionnaire. They see the individual questions. And when they choose an individual question, they can look at the responses from the different candidates. These responses are presented in random order to ensure fairness. They can also go on and look at an entire response by a candidate to see added in media elements or other additions to the node. They can also go and see responses to the questions by candidate, so they can see the candidate's complete response to any one questionnaire. Okay, That's the basic functionality of candidate questionnaires. If you have any more information, please contact me. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope that this module adds something to Drupal.org. Thanks a lot.